Okay, this is the geometry for the final course revision questions. I've solved this in my last course revision recording and this top in my last course revision recording over here. This one, this is the geometry playlist, by the way. And I also solved in this one, question 21, as the question 40. So I'm gonna skip those since we already did them. So let's start here. Uh, Before starting, shout out to Rashid and Rafi Baidoun from Shoifat Dubai. Yeah, let me start خلاص. Uh, where is this? Uh, this was in the quiz. Uh, the same question was in the quiz. Okay. Area of triangle CPB to PAD. This is CPB over here. Okay. PAD is over here. Okay. We need, remember, area over area equals k squared. Okay. K is the scale factor. How do you find the scale factor? It's basically any side over side 1 over side 2 squared. Okay. That's what I told you. You can either say k squared or side 1 over side 2 squared. Let's see, you have to pick two corresponding sides. For CPB over here, we have side 2 and 4, and for PAD, we have only 5. The ones corresponding, I told you, are the ones beside each other. So you can't say 4 corresponds to 5. Okay, this was in the quiz now. You can't say 4 corresponds to 5, you have to say 2 corresponds to 5. Okay, for side 1 from here is 2, and then side 2 from PAD is 5. For CPB over PAD is going to be 2 over 5 squared, which is 4 over 25. I think. Yeah, 4 over 25. Okay, question 10. And I'm moving along with the grids they have here. Okay, question 10. Uh, the circle has a circumference of 10 pi. Find the area of the circle. Area equals pi r squared. We need the radius, yeah? But what do we have given? We have the circumference. The circumference is 2 pi r. Can you find the radius if you have the circumference? Circumference is c, which we said is 10 pi. For 10 pi equals 2 pi r. Cancel pi with pi. شو اسمه divide by 2 on the other side, you're gonna get r equals 5. So can you find the area? It's gonna be pi times 5 squared. Keep it in terms of pi, it's 25 pi. Let me see. Yeah, 25 pi. Question 11, it's not required in, obviously it's required, it's in the material, but it was in the quiz, and a lot of these were in the quiz. Uh, I recommend you guys know, make sure you know because I could see them bringing this in the exam صراحة. I Why not? I would bring it if I was the regional. And also in addition to, there was this one question, I think we're gonna come across it. Uh, yeah, I went through the course now really quickly. I'm not gonna say what comes in written, but all I'm gonna tell you from now, we have a lot of questions, so I'm just gonna stop talking and cut to the chase. Question 13, because يعني والله like these aren't easy questions. None of the top questions are easy in my opinion. I took a look at them now. Yeah, let me continue. Question 13, calculate the area of the shaded region if the radius is 10. This was in the quiz. The shaded region is, these questions I think they'll come in the computer صراحة. The shaded region would be the whole sector, right? Minus the triangle. So it will be sector minus the triangle, if you remember. Uh, the area of the sector, okay, if this is 90, yani it's gonna be the area of the sector. Remember, it was theta over 360 times 360 times pi r squared. Okay, theta is 90, 360 over 360 times pi times r squared for 100, it's 10 squared. Minus the area of the triangle, which is 10, 10 base times height, so 10 times 10 divided by 2. So 10 times 10 divided by 2. I don't know if they want it in terms of pi. Uh, whoa. Let me see. You're gonna get, okay, you can simplify it. Let me see what it gives me on my calculator. 90 over 1 over 4 times pi times 100 minus 50. Yeah, it gives me a decimal on my calculator. Let me simplify it here. 90 over 1 over 360 is 1 over 4. Okay, times pi times 100 minus 10 times 10 over 2 is 50. 1 over 4 times 100 is 25 times pi for 25 pi minus 50. I don't know, do they keep it like that or they factor out 25? No, they factor out 25. They factor out 25, becomes pi minus 2. Okay. I think everybody knows how to factor. المهم that's the answer. Shaded region is 25 pi minus 2. This we did it in the quiz. They could get something like this, honestly. What's next? Quinter 13. Page 60. Okay, page 60. Question 38. Yep. Okay, go down to question 38. Okay. What is the lateral area of a right circular cylinder whose height is 10 over pi and space radius is 9? Okay, the lateral area of a cylinder, remember, was 2 pi r h. Okay, so 2 times pi times uh, 10 over pi times 9. Pi with pi, 2 times 10 times 9 is 180 if I'm not wrong. Yep, and these are very simple. I think the top questions include this one up here. Oh, I skipped it, but I think we come back to it. Yeah, the tops are at the end. Okay, after that 43. Okay, uh, what is the volume of a regular pyramid whose height is 15 and the length of the side of its base is 8? Remember, the volume of a pyramid equals 1 over 3 times the base squared area, not the area, the side, the side of the base squared times the height. Okay. Uh, in the exam, if you put b squared, I don't know if you'll get the mark. You should, but like, I would prefer to say s squared times the height. Okay, because that's the side of the base. So I just call it s. المهم 1 over 3 times 8 squared times 15. What do you get? I'm not going to do the math. It's 320. Uh, some people also write 1 over 3 times capital B times H. In the book, this is how they write it. If you want to write it like that, that's the same thing. But B is the same as saying side squared. B aslan is 8 squared. Okay. Uh, question, do I need, what's next? 43, 44, 45. 44, what's the radius of the sphere if its volume is, okay. The volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. What's going to be the radius if they gave you this is the volume? So 4 over 3 pi r cubed equals 5324 over 3 pi. Pi with pi, take 5324 over 3 divided by 4 over 3 because you have to divide this on the other side. For 5324 over 3 divided by 4 over 3, you get 1331. So r cubed equals 1331. For r will be the third root of 1331. I think there's a third root of that. Yeah, it's 11. For r is 11. So the radius is 11. 45, surface area of a sphere. These are the same questions I saw in the quiz. If that means they're definitely gonna come in the computer. الصراحة, I think these grid questions, they'll definitely 100% come in computer. The surface area of a sphere of volume 8. Okay, this is the volume. Okay, they want the surface area. You know, the surface area is 4 pi r squared. So we need this radius. The volume is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So 8788 over 3 pi, because it said 8788 over 3 pi, equals the volume, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Pi with pi, 8788 over 3 divided by 4 over 3, you get 2197. So r cubed equals 2197. For r equals 13. R equals 13. Now you can find the surface area. It will be 4 times pi times 13 squared. I don't know what you get. 676 pi. They want the value of k. Yeah, so just 676. The grids were flying through them. I think 9 minutes. We're going through them very quickly. But it's the top questions that I think we're going to have a bit of a problem with. Question 20, page 57. Oh, see, this one I think they'll get in the written one. Where question 26, yeah? We finished these. Question 26, okay. So back here up, I think. Yeah. This one I think they're gonna get written. But I'll solve it. It was in the AMS also. It was in the AMS. let me show you the answer for it, because they might get it computer يعني. Let me see. Yeah, for the way it came in AMS. It was like this. Over here, parallelogram like this, same thing. But the circle was down here. They shaded this all, and then they called this RPST. RP. Okay. They asked for the angle of RPT. It was 62 degrees. Then they asked for the shaded region. It was 38. Okay. Uh, and they asked for the perimeter. It was 25. If you want to memorize this, because possibly it could come in the computer part tomorrow, it's 62, 38, and 25. Okay. Enough talking. Let's actually solve this. They give us this ABCD is a parallelogram. AB 6, BC is 4. Okay. PQ is an arc and it has a radius of 2. Okay. If AC is 5.2, is AC. If it's 5.2, okay. Find the measure of angle ABC over here. You can use the cosine rule, okay? Because this is actually a triangle. Let's look at it like this. Triangle ABC. ABC. AB is 6, BC is 4, and AC is 5.2. Can you find angle B? Yes, you can. Cosine rule. Cosine of any angle, cosine of any angle alpha equals the square of the side opposite to it minus the square of the other two, so minus 6 squared minus 4 squared, over negative 2 times the other two sides, 6 times 4. If you put this on a calculator, you get 5.2, hold up, 5.2 squared minus 6 squared minus 4 squared over minus 2 times 6 times 4. You get 13 over 25. Cosine alpha is 13 over 25. How would you find alpha? It will be shift cosine of 13 over 25. Okay, and you get 58.7. Let's keep it as 58.7 degrees. Let me see, is this correct? Where am I? Where? Whoa. Yeah, 58.7 degrees. Part B, let's put this 58.7. Find the area of the shaded region. The shaded region would be the area of the whole parallelogram. So in this case, the shaded equals the whole parallelogram. I'm just going to write it like this. Okay, minus this sector, right? This is actually the sector of a circle. So it would be the shaded equals the whole parallelogram minus the sector. Can we find the whole parallelogram? Okay. We do not have the, yeah. For this part is, it needs 2 steps. Okay. This still could come written if it doesn't come computer. I think it will come written صراحة. It would be more plausible to bring it in written. المهم, the parallelogram equals the area of it is base times height. Our base AB is 6, and they gave us BC is 4. This is 4, okay? But this is obviously not our height. This is our height. This is 4. If it's 4, he's 4 here, okay? I'm going to use this height to work. We want this height H, right? If this angle here is 58.7, this angle is also 58.7. Okay, 58.7 over here, because opposite angles are equal. Okay, can I find, I'm going to give you this triangle. I'm going to give you H over here, 4 over here, 58.7 degrees. Can I find this H? Of course I can. Opposite hypotenuse. So what does that mean? Opposite over hypotenuse. I'm using sine. For sine, 58.7. What's the opposite side? It's H. So sine 58.7 equals H over the hypotenuse 4. Okay, cross multiply. You're gonna get H equals 4 sine 58.7. 4 sine 58.7, which is, it's gonna be 3.41. So let's just say it's 3.42, actually 3.42. For H is 3.42. For my base 6 times 3.42. That's the parallelogram. How about the sector? The sector is over here, right? You know, the area of a sector is the angle theta over 360 times pi r squared. Theta, in this case, is 58.7 because the sector has 58.7. The sector angle is 58.7 over 360 times pi times r squared. They said the radius is 2 for 2 squared. If I'm not wrong, you have to do this on a calculator. 58.7 over 360 times pi times r squared 2 squared, you get, whoa, you get 2.05. Yeah, 2.0490, which is 2.05. Okay, ف 6 times 3.42, now we're going to subtract it by 2.05. Let's do it. 6 times 3.42, so it's going to be, in the end, it's going to be 6 times 3.42 minus 2.05. Minus 2.05. And you get 18.47. Let me check on this answer. 80, that's perimeter, 18.35. I think they used, it's because of significant figures. Let me see. 6 times, they used 3.4, not 3.42. Okay, and then they did 2.05. 6 times 3.4 minus 2.05. Yeah, it's just the significant figures, wallah. I don't know if they say, it's like we got the height is even. They use 3.4 as their height. We use 3.42. Honestly, my way isn't wrong at all. If they say one significant figure, or two significant figures, then keep it as 3.4. But if you did this and you got 18.47, you put centimeters squared, this will be correct. There's going to be nothing wrong with it. Okay, so don't worry. Calculate the perimeter of the shaded region. Type the perimeter of the shaded region. The perimeter of the shaded region, you add up the sides. So you have 4 here, okay? Then you have 6 here, okay? Then we have this over here, and then we have this, and we have this. This is the tricky part over here. This is a circle, okay? Think of this as a circle. It has a radius of 2. What does that mean? That means this over here is 2, and this over here is 2. طب okay, can I find out how much this red part is? Yes, of course I can. We know this red part, this whole thing is 6. 6, subtract this part here, which is 2. That means this red part is 4. How about this part over here? This part, the whole thing is 4, right? Because it's 4. Uh, can I find out the small part here? Of course I can. 4, subtract this 2, it's going to be 2. Let's clean this up a bit. I have 4 here, 6 here. I'll draw it. And then here it was 4 minus, 2 over here, so you get 2. This part, we're going to find it now, but this part over here, AP, is 6 minus 2, which is 4. طيب, this is the length of an arc, right? It's an arc. We want to find the length of it. How do you find it? It's theta over 360 times 2 pi r. So the angle 58.7, remember from part A, over 360 times 2 times pi times 2. And you should get 58 points. Let's do it. 58.7 over 360 times 2 pi times 2. You should get to, again, 2.05. Yeah, 2.05. Okay, so this over here is 2.05. To find the perimeter, now we just add them all up. Plus, so this plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 2, and you get 18.05, which is equal to 18.05. Let me see, is that correct? Yes. 58. Why are they trying to be different? Wallah, why over 180? What they did, look. مش صح, it's supposed to be 58.7 over 360 times 2 times pi times r, which is also 2. Look what they did. They canceled 2 with 360. They put it over 180, and they multiplied by 2 pi. What's the point? Wallah, what's the point? I don't like it when you just هيك تتفلسف. Wallah, I don't. على الفاضي والله. They try to confuse people with the solutions. Okay, question 31. This also came. Let me go to it. 31. The answer for this one in the exam, I have it here. It was, let me open it. Yeah, this x over here was 60 degrees. Okay, and the shaded region was 13. Okay, in case it comes. Okay, yeah. Let's start solving. Find the sector angle x. Okay, so here, look at this. you have this cone and you're opening it up, you're untwisting it to form this shape over here. Once you open up this cone, okay, you get this shape. This shape obviously is going to be 12 and 12 here. But one thing you have to pay attention to is this length of the arc. This length of the arc is actually the circumference of this circle over here, because you're cutting the cone open and you're opening up the circle, and now it looks like this. Okay, the length of this arc is actually the circumference of this circle, and the circumference of this circle is 2 pi r, which is 2 times pi times 4, which is 8 pi. So this is 8 pi. Okay, so let's take a look at it step by step. We have the radius. Okay, this is, if you think about it, it's actually a circle. Okay, we have the radius, we have the length of the arc, but we need the angle. Can we find the angle? Yes, we can. You know that the length of an arc is theta over 360 times 2 pi r. We want theta, so theta over 360 times 2 times pi times r, which is 12, equals the length of the arc, which we know is 8 pi. So we put 8 pi. 2 pi with pi, 2 with 8, this becomes 4, and you can divide it, so I'm not in the mood. And then you're gonna get theta over 360 times 12 equals 4, then divide by 12, right? So theta over 360 equals 4 over 12. Then 4, and how would you get theta? It will be 4 over 12 times 360, and I think, what do you get? 15, 30, 120, I think. So you're gonna get theta equals 120 degrees. Let me check the answer first. Theta equals, yes, 120 degrees. What you have to do, recap السريع, you have to find the circumference of the base. Yeah, the circumference, because that's the length of the arc, and then apply the formula theta over 360 times 2 pi r equals the length of the arc, and just substitute, you get theta equals 120 degrees. In the exam it was 60 degrees, here it's 120 degrees. So and the area was 13. Let me continue. So this theta is now 120 degrees, this x. Find the area of the shaded region. Okay, this is easy. This is 12 over here, 12 over here. The area of the shaded region, it's a sector. I mean, it's a circle, right? We said that the shaded here equals the whole sector, right? The whole sector, area of the sector, minus the area of the triangle, right? If you take away this area of the triangle over here, you're going to be left with the shaded area. Let's solve it. 12, and here you have whatever the length of that. It's 120. Okay, yeah. The area of the sector is theta over 360 times pi r squared. Theta is 120, 120 over 360 times pi times r squared for 12 squared. You get 1 over 3, 1 over 3, 144, 1 over 3, 48 pi. You get 48 pi for your sector. Minus the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle, this is, yeah, the area of the triangle, it's not 12 times 12 divided by 2, no. Whenever you have a triangle, you have a side A, and you have B, and you have this angle C. Okay, and you want to find the area, given the two sides and the angle between them, you can't do A times B divided by 2, no, because that's only when you have the height and the base. Here, there's no height or base, it's just a triangle. The rule is, for any triangle, side A, B, angle C, the area equals A times B times sine C over 2. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be 12 times 12 times sine 120 over 2. Okay, let me do this on a calculator. Uh, Sine 120. Hold up, give me a sec. Sine 120 over 2. I get 88.44. Let me check, is that correct? Yeah, 88.4. So it's gonna be 88.4 centimeters squared. That's how you solve this one. Question 31. In the exam, this answer was 13, huh? For the computer. In case it comes again, yeah. Okay, again, this one also came in the exam before. The answer to it was, let me check real quick. So the volume, the first one, part A, in the exam, in the computer, it was 36 pi, you just have to put 36. And then for part B, the new height was 10. Okay, in case it comes to the computer with the same numbers. Uh, Anyways, it's really easy. Find the volume of a sphere of radius 4 centimeters. The volume is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. For 4 over 3 times pi times 4 cubed. Let's do it. It will be 64 times 4 over 3 times pi, because 4 cubed is 64. 64, 6 plus 64 times 4. Whoa, oh, correct to three significant figures. They don't want it in terms of pi, but you actually have to do it. 64 times 4 over 3 times pi. You get 268. To three significant figures, it's 268. Let me check, is that correct? Where am I? Yeah, 268. Okay. Part B, it's placed in a cylindrical container of radius 5, filled with 1 liter of water. For this 268 here, because you're going to need it for B. It's placed in a cylinder that has radius 5, filled with 1 liter of water. Calculate the new height. 1 liter of water minus 1000. And they said, okay, for the total volume now, okay, is 1000 plus 268, right? So it's going to be 1268. What is the volume of a cylinder? The volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. So 1268 equals pi times r squared, so 5 squared, times the height. Can we find the height? It's going to be equal to 1268 divided by 25 pi, because 5 squared is 25, huh? So you just take it to the other side. You should get, let's see, 1268 divided by 25 pi, 16.1. Okay, yeah, 16.1. Or if they want, they could just say 16. I don't know, what did they say? 16, yeah, they said 16. Type. Yeah, that's it for 64. Question 72. Uh, a solid cylinder has a volume of 180 pi and a height of 5. Find the radius. Okay, volume of a cylinder equals pi r squared h. So pi times r squared, which we don't know, we want to find the radius, times the height, which is 5, equals 180 pi. Cancel pi with pi. You get r squared times 5 equals 180. So divide 180 by 5, you're going to get 40, that's 4, 16, 16, I think. And then r equals 4. Is that correct? Where am I? Where, Shlok, where am I? 6? How did you get 6? Oh, my fault, my fault, my fault. 180 divided by 5 is not 16, it's 36. R squared equals 36, for r equals 6. Part B, they're saying they now attached a cone with a height of 10 to the cylinder to make a new solid. So we still have that same cylinder that has height 5 and radius 6. Okay, that means the radius of this cone is also 6, obviously, because it's being attached. They want, I think they're going to ask you to find the volume. Yeah, find the total volume in terms of pi. Okay, the volume down here is 180 pi. It was given in part A. In the first one, in the cone, the volume of a cone is 1 over 3. I think it was area of the base times height, pi r squared h. I think, is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, for the area, the volume of a cone is 1 over 3 pi r squared h. So 1 over 3 times pi times 36 times 10, because the height is 10. And r squared equals 6 squared. We said r equals 6 from part A. For 6 squared, 36. Cancel this with this, you get 12 times 10 times pi, 120 pi. For this cone is 120 pi. The cylinder is 180 pi. For the total volume will be 120 pi plus 180 pi, which is 300 pi. Part C. A solid similar to that of part B has a volume of 8100 pi. We said this one was 300 pi, yeah? Find the radius of the cylinder of this new solid. And the radius was 6. Type. Remember that area, or sorry, no, volume over V1 over V2, volume 1 over volume 2 equals side 1 over side 2 cube. Remember, yeah? But if it was area, it would have been squared, not cube. Volume 1, let's take the bigger one up. 8100 pi, 8100 pi over volume 2, which we said is 300 pi. I'm going to cancel pi with pi, okay, and the zeros with zeros just to make things easier, equals radius 1 over radius 2. Radius 1, it's this, the radius of this one, the big radius, which we're trying to find, the new radius, yeah? So we just call it r, capital R, over the radius we had, the radius we had for this 300 pi shape, which was 6. And it has to be cubed because we're talking about volume. The ratio of two sides when you're in comparison to volumes has to be cubed. So 81 over 3 equals r over 6 cubed. Okay, 81 over 3 is 27. I'm going to take this up. 81 over 3 is 27, and r, it stays r over 6 cubed. How do we get rid of this cube? Cube root both sides. Cube root of 27 is 3, and the cube root of r over 6 to the power of 3, I keep the 3 and the cube root just cancel, and you're just going to get r over 6. Cross multiply, you get r equals 18. Is that correct? Yes. 73. Okay, yeah, it's like there's a lot of tops. If you want to do all of them, you won't finish them. So that's why I'm only going to do the ones in the material. Also, I think this one's included. No, it's not. Okay, yeah. What do we do now? We did 72. Okay, yeah, now we start with tops. We did this already in the old recording. 5.3, page 52. Okay. Top question 18. 18. Let's see. Okay, so we started with the tricky questions. The bearing of tower T. So let's see. Tower T from B, from this B, right, is 300 degrees. So this all is 300 degrees. The bearing of beacon B from F is 140 degrees. See, to go to B. And then, whoa, what am I doing? And then TF is 700, FB is 1100. Find the bearing of F from B. How did you get F from B? How much did we go? So it's going to be this 300, and this is F over here, yeah? This is F. This 300 plus this small part over here, yeah? Let's take a look. أول شيء, this 140, that means here is 40. If you remember, co-interior angles are supplementary. That means this angle and this angle are supplementary. Okay, that means they add up to 180. What does that mean? This 140, that means here it has to be 40 because they have to add up to 180. So okay, you know that the whole thing is 360. So how much will this part be? It will be 360 minus this 40, right? Minus this part here, 300, and you get it. It's 20 degrees. For this small part here is 20 degrees. So can you find the bearing from B to F? Let's start at B. Let's continue rotating until we reach F. Boom. Here you reach it. Okay. 300 plus 20. For the bearing is 320 degrees. Calculate the angle TFB. TFB over here. Okay. We said this one is 20 degrees. Yeah. Okay. We want this angle here. I'm going to give you the steps, but you're going to need to use the sine rule. There's more than one step. أول شيء, we have this angle and its opposite. We also have this side. Can we find this angle? Yes, we can. Remember the sine rule. Sine B over TF equals sine T over FB. Sine B يعني sine 20 over TF 700 equals sine T, we don't know sine T, over FB, which is 1100. Can we find T? Of course we can. Cross multiply, you're going to get 1100 sine 20 equals 700 sine T. For sine T equals 1100 sine 20 divided by 700. So that means T equals, just do shift sign, of 1100 sine 20 over 700. And you should get, let me do it on my calculator, 1100 sine 20 divided by 700. My calculator is slow. I get 32.5. For T is 32.5 degrees. Okay, but is that what they're asking for? No. They're asking for TFB. They're asking for this one here. Now, okay, we have this one's 20, and now we have this one's 32.5. This step is easy. Can you find this angle? Of course you can. 180, because they have to add up to 180 in a triangle. Minus 32.5 minus 20 degrees. What is going to be? It should be 50, 130, 127.5, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 127.5 degrees. Uh, part I. A pathway is built from F, so from F, to join the straight road TB. So this TB here, we want to draw a line from F to join it. This is actually the shortest possible length of the pathway. But you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, whatever. But they're saying it's the shortest possible length. What does that mean? That means it's perpendicular. Okay, I'm telling you from now. The perpendicular path is the shortest path you can get. They want you to find the length of this path. You can do either way. You can either use 32.5 degrees or you can use the 20 that's over here. Okay, both will get you a correct answer. We want this h. If you use the 32.5, h is the opposite and 700 is the hypotenuse in this triangle, yeah? It's like this, yeah? H 700, 32.5, opposite, hypotenuse. That means sine 32.5 equals the opposite, which is h, over the hypotenuse, 700. Cross, you're going to get h equals 700 sine 32.5. Yeah, 700 sine 32.5, which is 376.1. If you want to use the other side, it will be 1100 sine 20. Okay, but you're gonna get 376.1. Stop my toe. How do I stop my toe while sitting? Wallah, I don't even know. المهم, my toe doesn't matter. Uh, if you did 1100 sine 20, you're gonna get 376.2, I think. It's accurate to one decimal place. And if you use it, you still use, and they'll still accept your answer. No need to add any. Part B, flagpole F is standing on a rectangular lawn. The length of the lawn is x meters. The width of the lawn is 20 meters shorter than the length. The area of the lawn is 2,400. Find the width and the length to correct one decimal place. So since it's a rectangle, the area would actually be length times width. They're saying the length is x for x, and the width is 20 meters shorter than the length. So you could say x minus 20, because 20 is shorter than the length. We said the length is x, so 20 less than x, so x minus 20. So x times x minus 20 equals 2,400. Obviously, you have to expand it. X times x is x squared. X times minus 20 is minus 20x equals 2,400. How do you solve? It's a quadratic, so you have to take everything to one side. It will be x squared minus 20x minus 2,400 equals 0. You have to use the quadratic equation. I'm not in the mood to do it, صراحة. I'm just gonna, yeah. Uh, Actually, let's do it together. Let's do it fast. Okay. Find your discriminant. Remember the discriminant أول شيء is b squared minus 4ac. Okay. b is 20, fine. Negative 20 squared minus 4 times a 1 times c minus 2,400. You're gonna get your discriminant is 10,000. I think, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 10,000. Okay. Then you do the quadratic equation, minus b plus minus radical b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Minus b will be minus 20, so it will be 20, plus minus radical, we said our discriminant b squared minus 4ac was 10,000, over 2a, so 2, because 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, you get this on a calculator, you're going to get two solutions. You're going to get 60, and you're going to get negative 40. أكيد negative 40 is rejected. Okay, negative 40 will be rejected because it's negative. You can't have a negative length. For 60 will be our x. For our length is going to be 60. Where were we? Yeah, they want the width and the length. So if we got the length is 60, they said the width is 20 meters shorter than the length. So 60 minus 20, it's 40 for the width. Okay. And you get, yeah, 2000, yeah, 60 and 40. Okay. That's it for this one. Yeah. Okay. 19. Ugh. Question 19. Yeah, what's this? AB is, okay, AB is the diameter which intersects DG, okay, at E. Calculate the length of EG BE and AB. Okay, yes, should be solvable. Okay, after looking at the solution, this question is really easy. It uses formulas from term 1. For part A, they want EG. EG is over here. Okay, let's take a look here. This CB is a tangent. Okay, this over here is a secant. There was a formula for the tangent and the secant of a circle, that the tangent squared equals the whole segment of the secant times the exterior part of the secant. This I would always tell the people who I would tutor in term 1, tangent is whole times exterior. Tangent squared equals whole times exterior. What does this mean? 18 squared equals the whole thing. The whole thing is 7 plus EG plus 12. 7 plus EG plus 12 times the exterior, which is 12. 7 plus EG plus 12 is actually 19 plus EG times 12 equals 18 squared. 18 squared, do they solve it here? They don't. Okay, 18 squared is, let me do it on the calculator, it's 324. 19 plus EG times 12 equals 324. Divide by 12 on the other side, you get 19 plus EG equals 324 divided by 12, which is 27. Then subtract by 19, you get EG equals 8. EG. Yeah, that's an E. Okay, EG is 8. Okay, you get 8 over here. BE. BE is very simple, okay? You have 8 now here. This is it's a right triangle. 18 here, you have the hypotenuse, which is 12 plus 8, which is 20. Can you find this segment? Actually, you can. Pythagoras theorem. So EB squared plus 18 squared equals 20 squared. For EB squared equals 20 squared minus 18 squared, which is, I think, 400 minus 324, 80, 76. EB squared equals 76. For EB equals radical 76, which is 8.71, 8.72 actually. For AB, part II, AB over here, it's the diameter. Look here, the formula in term 1, if you had this segment times this segment equals this segment times this segment. Okay, it was a term 1 formula. What does this mean? AE times EB equals DE times EG. What's AE? We don't know it. Let's just call it AE. Okay, let's keep it as AE. Times EB. We found EB, it was 8.72. Equals DE times EG. DE is 7. EG 8. Can you find AE? Yes, you can. 7 times 8, 56. 56 divided by 8.72. You get AE equals 6.42. But that's not what they're asking. They're asking for three significant figures for 6.4. Yeah, 6.42. They're asking for the whole thing AB. Top AE we found is 6.42. And we know BE is from part II. This is 8.72. Can you find AB if you add them? Of course you can. 8.72 plus 6.42. And you get 15.14. No, AB equals 15.14. Is that correct? 15.1. Okay, they kept it as three significant figures. Yeah, 15.1. Part B, calculate the area of BCE. Okay, BCE over here. How do you find the area? This is 12. This is no need also. It's base times height over 2 because it's a right triangle. 18 is the height. The base is 8.72. Remember, we found it in II. So 8.72 over 2. You multiply and then you divide by 2. You get 78.48. That's it. Okay, question 20. It's very easy. صراحة, I'm looking at it. PQR triangle, PQR, PQ equals 90, QR 16. PQR angle is 80 degrees. Let's draw it. Okay, Uh, this is Q, this is R, and this is P. This angle here is 80 degrees. Okay, QR is 16, PQ equals 9. Okay, how do you find PR? Okay, obviously, if you have two angles, two sides, and the angle between it, you have to find the third side. You can always use cosine rule. So cosine of the angle. Wait, no. I say any side squared. So PR squared equals the side. Wait, am I tweaking? Yeah, I forgot the formula for a second. Any side squared equals the other two sides squared. A in this case, not A. PR squared equals the other two sides squared. So QP squared plus QR squared minus 2 times the other two sides. So QP times QR times cosine of the angle in between them. So cosine 80. This was the cosine rule. So let's substitute. PR squared equals 9 squared plus 16 squared minus 2 times 9 times 16 times cosine 80. Put this in a calculator. I think it's the same thing in the solution. Minus 2 PQR, 9 squared 60 minus 2 9 16. Yeah, you get 16.9 centimeters. Didn't say to any significant figures. Yeah, for 16.9 centimeters. So you get PR is here over here 16.9. The measure of angle R. Okay, you can either use sine rule or you can use cosine rule. I'm going to use sine rule. The angle sine R over the side opposite to it, which is 9, equals sine 80 over the side opposite to it, which is 16.9. Cross multiply, you're going to get 9 sine 80 equals 16.9 sine R. Sine R will be equal to 9 sine 80 over 16.9. Then you do shift sine. Let me do this on my calculator. Shift sine 9 sine 80 over 16.9. You should get 31.6. Let me see. 31.6. Yeah. You get 31.6 degrees. For R equals 31.6 degrees. If you want to use the cosine rule, you can also use it. You could say cosine R equals the side of the two sides squared. 9 squared minus the other two sides squared. Minus 16.9 squared over minus 2 times minus 16 times 16, sorry, times 16.9. And you'll still get the same answer. Let me see. Shift cosine. You should get the same answer. 9 squared minus 16 squared minus 16.9 squared over minus 2 times 16 times 16.9. Yeah, you get 31.6 also. But you can use both ways, it doesn't matter. The area of PQR. Area of PQR, very easy. You could solve it from the start also. The area of, if you have two sides and the angle between it, they asked to find the area of that triangle. It's A times B times the sine of the angle between it, let's say C, over 2. This is the rule. I did it earlier also. So 9 times 16 times sine 80 over 2. You get uh, 71, I think. 70.9. Yeah, I got 70.9. You get 70.9 centimeters squared. That's it for 20. 21 I think. لا ما في 21. 22. Okay, in the figure below, the radius of the outer circle is 12. The radius of the inner circle is 6. PQR is an equilateral triangle. Okay, calculate QM. This is easy. Okay, this is very easy. Uh, let me check. Wait. If I look at it like this, OMQ. Okay, look at what they have drawn for you. Yeah, they want QM. You can make this triangle over here, OMQ. Okay, OM is 6 because they said the radius of the inner circle is 6. This is the inner circle and this is actually a radius, yeah? So it's 6. And then OQ is 12 because this is also the radius of the bigger circle, which they said is 12. Can you find this? Look here. 6, 12, and 6, 12 is the hypotenuse, yeah? Because the right angle is here, 12 is the hypotenuse. Can we find this base? Let's call it x. X squared plus 6 squared equals 12 squared. X squared equals 12 squared minus 6 squared. x equals radical 12 squared minus 6 squared, and I think you get the same answer. 6 radical 3, which is 10.39. Okay, very easy. So QM is 10.39. Calculate the area of the shaded region. So I'm going to give you my way, and then I'll look at the way they solved it in the solution. QM is 10.39, and since it's an equilateral triangle, that means it's also here 10.39. So this is 10.39, this is 10.39. Okay, keep that in mind. They want the shaded region. The shaded region would be the whole triangle minus the area of the circle here, right? فأول شيء let's find the area of the triangle. This is an equilateral triangle, and the area of any equilateral triangle equals s squared radical 3 over 4. We got QM was 6 radical 3, okay? Also 10.39, same thing. Let's keep it like this. So it will be 6 radical 3 squared times radical 3 over 4. Let me do some on my calculator. 6 radical 3 squared times radical 3 over 4. You get 46.76 on my calculator. That's what I got. You get 46.76. How about the circle? Let's subtract. Now we have to minus the circle, right, to get the shaded area. The circle is the area of the circle is pi r squared. Pi times the radius, which is 6 squared. So it will be 36 pi. For 46.76, okay, there's no way. This has to be wrong. I did something wrong. S squared radical 3 over 4. I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Uh, Let me see. My fault, my fault, my fault. I made a mistake here. The side isn't 6 radical 3. It's 12 radical 3. My fault. Because the side is the full thing, and if it's 6 radical 3 here, 6 radical 3 here, so it's going to be in total 12 radical 3. Or if you want to just put it as a decimal, it's going to be 10.39 here, 10.39 here, so it's going to be 20.78. Okay, let's keep it as 20.78. That way maybe it's a bit easier. 20.78 squared. Let's see. 20 point, let me put it on my calculator. 20.78 squared times radical 3 over 4. You get 186.9. This area here was 186.9. Let's just keep it as 187. I'll just keep it as 187. Because it's 186.97. Just keep it as 187. So we got the area of the triangle, we got the area of the circle. Now if we subtract them, we're going to get the leftover, which is the shaded. But it will be 187 minus 36 pi, which is, on my calculator, I got 73.88. Let me see, is that correct? To two significant figures, we said 73.88, yeah? If you round it, you get 74. The way they did it, look here. To find the area of the triangle, they did base times height over 2. How they did it is they found the base, which is, we said is 12 radical 3, yeah? And then they found the height, PM. PM, the height PM, is easy to find. It can be divided into two parts. This OM over here, yeah? OM over here, which is the radius of the smaller circle, which is 6. Then this OP, which is 12, because it's the radius of the bigger circle, if you get what I mean. It's the center over here, and this is the bigger circle for 12. For 6 and 12, that means the total height is 18. But they did 12 radical 3 times 18 over 2, base times height over 2, and you get for 6, 18, 6 times 18, 108. They get 108 radical 3, which is the same answer. Then you subtract it by 36 pi, and you still get s times radical 3. Let me just see what the answer they got. Minus 36 pi. Yeah, they get a very similar answer. They get 73.96. Okay. You can use both ways. Both work. Whatever you're comfortable with at the end of the day. Yeah, that's it for question 22. هلا let me see what do I have left. We only have 4 questions. Okay, that's good. Okay, هلا question 51 and then we're almost done. Uh, calculate the area. We have 2 triangles here and it's in total it's all one lawn. Calculate the area of this lawn. The area of this lawn would be this triangle plus this triangle. Let's start with the top triangle. The top triangle is base times height over 2. So 45 times 20 divided by 2, which is I think 450. Yeah, it's 450. How about this one here? We have this side, and we have the angle between them. What was the formula? Side times sine of the angle between them over 2. Okay, so it will be 45 times 50 times sine 40 over 2. You're gonna get, wait, 45 times 50 times over 2, you get 723. So you get 723. Add these 723 and 450, and you should get 1173 point something something. Let's keep it as 1173. Part A, 1173. Yep. Okay. Part B, calculate the perimeter of the lawn. Perimeter, and you take the outside. So we need this side here, and we also need this side. How do we find this side? This is a right triangle. So it's just the hypotenuse. So you do 20 squared plus 45 squared equals x squared. You're gonna get x squared equals radical 20 squared plus 45 squared. You're gonna get 49.2. X equals here 49.2. Okay, how about here? Here we can use the cosine rule. Okay, because you have the angle, you have the other opposite two sides. For how do you do it? You need to do the cosine rule. For ps squared equals the other two sides squared, 45 squared plus 50 squared minus 2 times the other two sides, 45 times 50 times cosine of the angle, 40. You're gonna get, let me do it fast, 45 squared plus 50 squared minus 2 times 45 times 50 times cosine 40. You're gonna get 1000, whoa, yeah, 1077, and then radical square root of that, you're gonna get 32.8 over here. Add these all up, 32.8 plus 50 plus 20 plus 49.2, and you're gonna get 152, approximately 152. Yeah, so 152 to the nearest meter. Part C, find the shortest distance from P to SR. If you remember, I told you the shortest distance from any point to that segment is the perpendicular, the altitude. Okay, so how do we find this? We have this now, it's a triangle, right? You have here, let's call it H, and we have 50 here, and we have, well, no, not 50, 50 is for the whole thing. We have 45 as the hypotenuse, and we have 40 here. Can we find this? This is opposite, this is hypotenuse. What is it going to be? Opposite over hypotenuse, but it's going to be sine 40. So sine 40 is going to be equal to our opposite side, which is h. We're trying to find it, the distance, over the hypotenuse 45. For h equals 45 sine 40, which is 28.9. You can just say 29, I think. 28.9. Okay, you get 28.9. 45 times sine 40, 28.9. Q is due north of R. Okay, this one's a bit tricky. Q is due north from R. They want the bearing of P from Q. So from Q, I have to rotate. Yeah, I have to, oh, not like that. From Q, okay, I have to rotate until I reach P. So they want this rotation. Okay, obviously, this this much is 180 degrees, right? This is obvious. But I want to know what this leftover part, right? I need to know this leftover part. For, to do that, it's basically like saying I'm trying to find the angle over here. Okay, it's this, the bearing is from Q goes here. The blue part's obviously 180, and then plus the red part. The red part, how can I find it? I can do tan, because I have the opposite side and I have the adjacent side. For the tan of this angle equals the opposite, which is 45, over adjacent, which is 20. So alpha equals shift tan of 45 over 20, which is, how much is it? Shift tan, you get 66. For this angle here is 66. Okay, so this is 180 over here, 66 over here. For what's the total bearing? 180 plus 66, which is 246 degrees. Yeah. Okay, question 78, very easy. 16 by 8 by 15. What's the volume? Very easy. The volume of it is just length times width times height, or area of the width of the base times the height. Uh, Whatever you want, but you're going to end up with the same answer, which is 16 times 8 times 15, and you get 1920, I think. 1920. Okay, I'm going to write 1920 so you remember it. The aquarium is partially filled with water. The volume of the water is 1280 centimeter cube. Calculate the height of the empty space in the aquarium. So it filled with water and it reached 1280 centimeter cube as the volume. How do we find the height? أول شيء we have to find out they want the height of the empty space. أول شيء we have to know the volume of the empty space. How do we find it? If the water is filled up until here and the total volume is 1920 and this only here is 1280. How would I find out this empty space? I subtract 1920 minus 1280 and you get I think 540. Let me do it fast. 1920 minus 1280, you get 640. Is that correct? Yeah, 640. So the leftover volume is 640. Okay, so think of it like this. We now have this gap over here, which is 640. We need to find this height, but the base is still the same base. If you take a look, it's still the same base. It's still 16 times 8 times height. So the only thing that changed was the height. The volume is 640. It equals the length times the width times the height. The area of the base, which is 16 times 8 times the height. I hope you understand why, yeah, because it just went up. But the only thing that changed now is the height, which caused the volume to decrease. So how do you find the height? You divide 640 by 16, then divide by 8, and you're going to end up with h equals 5. That's it. So calculate the height, h equals 5. Let me show you the answer. H equals 5. Question 79. I think we had this, no? I'm not sure. The diagram below shows a square pyramid ABCDE. ABCDE. The diagonals of the base intersect at point O. AO is 10 centimeters long, and the height of the pyramid, and is the height of the pyramid. And they said DC is 8. أول شيء part A. What's the measurement of segment CO? CO is over here. So this segment CO is the red one, right? But when you're working with, it's part of a diagonal. When working with diagonals in a square, I like finding the whole diagonal, okay? And the whole diagonal in this case is CE. You have 8 here and 8 here. You can simply use Pythagoras theorem, and you're going to get that CE is 8 radical 2. If you do 8 squared plus 8 squared then radical, you're going to get CE is 8 radical 2. طيب, we need CO. Okay, now look here. CO over here is half of CE. It's going to be half of 8 radical 2, which is 4 radical 2. Put that in a calculator. They want it to one decimal place, which is 5.7. If you round it, it's 5.7. Let me see, is that correct? Yeah, 5.7. Very easy. Part B, find to one decimal place the measurement of angle CAO. CAO. Oh, oh, oh. CAO. Okay. طب this is for radical 2. Let me see. I think you can see triangle CAO, which is over here. Okay, I'll draw it slowly. This is CAO. You have a right angle here, and this is 10. They said it's 10. Can you find the angle here? Obviously you can. This one here is opposite, and this one here is adjacent, right, to the angle. So we're going to use tan. So tan of this angle, let's say CAO, equals the opposite, which is 4 radical 2, over the adjacent, which is 10. So CAO equals shift tan of 4 radical 2 over 10, which is 29.49. To one decimal place, it's 29.5 degrees. Is that correct? 29.7. How did Shrug get 29.7? 5.7. They used 5.7. Okay, if you use 4 radical, because they're using the answer from part A. Yeah, and don't use 4 radical 2 type. Yeah. In part A, we got 5.7. Our answer was 5.7, not 4 radical 2. 5.7. Even though they're the same thing, but still use 5.7 because that's the thing you got from part A. Let me see now if I get the same, if I get a different answer. Yeah, it's 29.7 now. Use 5.7 because that's the answer you got in part A. You have to carry forward the answer you used from the previous part. So you get 29.7. Find the volume of the pyramid. Volume of the pyramid should be very easy. I think everybody knows how to find the volume of a pyramid. It's 1 over 3 area of the base times the height, or if you want, people can say 1 over 3 side squared times the height. I'll use side squared, so 1 over 3 times 8 squared times 10. And you should get, I don't know what you say, decimal, it should be a decimal. Yeah, 213.3 to one decimal place. That's 79 done. Now, question 80. Okay, this is the last one. Find the volume of a sphere of radius 3. Volume of a sphere. It's 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So 4 over 3 times pi times 3 cubed. Uh, what do you get? Let me see. Yeah, 4 over 3 pi r cubed, 4 over 3 pi 3 cubed. You get 36 pi, which is approximately 113 centimeters because they said 3 significant figures. Okay, yeah, you do it in a calculator. The sphere is, oh, this is easy. We did something like this before. Part B, we did it. Let me solve it. So we set 36 pi over here. The sphere is plate, or 113, let's say 113, of radius 8 centimeters and filled with 2 liters of water. Calculate the new height. Actually, we need to know the volume we have now, yeah? Since it's 2 liters of water, that's 2,000, because they said each liter is 1,000. But 2,000 plus this sphere we added, so plus 113, so it'll be 2113. Okay, that's our new volume. This is a cylinder, right? So it's going to be the volume of it is pi r squared h. It's 2113 equals pi times r squared, which has radius 8, so 8 squared, times the height, which is, we were trying to find it, the new height. Well, you're going to get h equals 2113 divided by 8 squared pi, which is 2113 over 64 pi. Let me see, 2113 divided by 64 pi. You get 10.5, 10.51, and I got 10.51. They got 10.5. I think because they used 36, no, it should be 10.5, 2113, by h squared h. Yeah, you should get 10.5. Oh, wait, 3 significant figures? Yeah, 10.5. Why am I saying 10.51? 10.5. Yeah, 10.5. Part C, the diagram below shows a cone with radius 4x centimeters and slant height 18. Slant height is this thing. And a sphere of radius 3x centimeters. If the surface area of the cone is equal to the surface area of the sphere, find the value of x. Okay, the surface area of a cone is pi RL. Surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So they're saying pi RL, wait, yeah, pi RL is equal to 4 pi r squared. What is the respective, what are, let's substitute. Actually, I like to cancel pi with pi because it really pisses me off when solving with pi. RL equals 4r squared, okay? The radius here is 4x, and L is 18, equals 4r squared, so the radius here is 3x, so 3x squared. Let's simplify. 18 times 4 is 72, 72x, equals 4 times 3x squared. No, it should 3x, then squares outside. Well, 3x is the radius. Square it, so the square is outside. So 3x squared is 9x squared. And you have that 4 outside, so times 4. So 72x equals 36x squared. Okay, take us to the other side. You get 36x squared minus 72x equals 0. Factor out 36. You can get 36x squared minus 2x equals 0. Divide by 36 on both sides. You're going to get x squared minus 2x equals 0. You should factor now. What do you do? I don't know. You should get two solutions. Wait, let me do this. Yeah, you get x squared minus 2x equals 0. Factor out the x. It will be x minus 2 equals 0. You can get two solutions. X equals 0 directly, or x minus 2 equals 0, which gets you x equals 2. So these are my two solutions, x equal 2 and x equals 0. Can x be 0? It's a radius. Can it be 0? Obviously no. So we say rejected over here. But here we take the answer, so we say x equals 2. That's it. I think x equals 2. Yeah, we're done. That's all the top questions. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck tomorrow. I hope the best for everybody, and I hope this geometry can boost everybody's math average. Good luck. Thank you so much for watching. I hope term 2 is a successful semester for everybody. Thank you so much.